to them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
So welcome in to the latest episode of Men of a Certain Age. This is episode 14. And today is a Give It to Them Friday. And so what we're going to do here today is we're going to do what we do on a Give It to Them Friday. We're going to give it to them. And with that being said, we got my man P Double back in the building from a glorious occasion with his baby girl, man. Salute.
No
Madison.
doubt. What's popping, everybody? Let's go.
Congratulations, Madison.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. And then on the right side, we got my man Josie the Kid. What's up with you, Josie? How you feeling?
Man, can't complain. Long week of bullshit, so I'm ready to give it to him.
All right, so we're gonna pick that energy up now with
them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
All right. There's been a lot of things that have gone on in the culture. And first and foremost, one of the things that we've talked about or that's been brought to our attention, and some of the things are first is Eboni K Williams and the things that she said. We're going to get into that, and we're going to
give it to them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
And it's only right that we give it to her because there's a lot to be said on that. And also during this week, Timbalnad dropped a headbanger on us, y'all. He dropped a handbanger with us with the legend Biggie on it. We're going to get into AI and how we feel about Tim making the beat with Biggie. And with that being said, we're going to give
it to them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
Now, also, during this episode, we're going to talk about Ice Spice and Jordan Poole. I know this is a little bit dated, but men of a certain age, we have to address this situation and let y'all know how we feel about it. So we definitely are going to
give it to them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
And last but not least, it's May, y'all. We in the middle of the playoffs. The playoffs are going down right now. And we're going to go back and we're going to visit a very touchy topic about Dylan Brooks and about what happened to him with the Memphis Grizzlies. So we're also going to
give it to them. Swap them up. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
So yeah, man. So that's Eboni K Williams. That's Timbalnad. That's Ice Spice and Jordan Poole in the playoffs / Dylan Brooks. So, fellas, what we're going to do is this, man, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go ahead and listen to what Eboni had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to that. All right, y'all cool with that?
No doubt.
Absolutely. And for all of y'all watching, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment along with us.
All right.
Give it to them.
To indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. He owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a...
Yeah, man, I was so blown away by what she said, man. It knocked me out my seat. Yeah, man. We're going to go around, and I'm going to go ahead And start with you, Joe.
You know, this touchy for me because I feel real passionate about a couple of different viewpoints, and I feel like the bits and pieces of the interview that they chopped up only gave us certain instances where we could look at how she viewed things to really speak on it. But I'm gonna say this: there have been a lot of men, very powerful, very rich men in the news throughout history that have not only changed the lives of waitresses or women who were less than, but they allowed them to be who they are. They loved them where they were, and they invested in and provided resources for them to reach for the stars. And I think when it comes to it being reversed and the women taking on men who are aspirational or men who are looking to do certain things, they don't take that same viewpoint. They're not going to take a man that's a waiter or take a man who's even a human resources person or a bus driver and take him where he is and look at his ambition as a way for the family to grow. And I think that for me, the viewpoint is skewed, like Anyanla said, because of the fact that it used to be a situation where the family unit was combined in order to grow together, in order to build. Now it's a whole generation of women who are being taught to look for the structure to already be built. For you not only be able to provide and protect, but for you to be able to support and fulfill my dreams without me having to do shit. And that's the problem. If I gotta go to work, you gotta go to work. If we got a dream together, then we gonna build it together. If you got resources ahead of time and I don't, then that's cool because we should be building together. The idea is to get me where you at. If that ain't the idea, you shouldn't be on my team. I shouldn't be considering you as a mate, period. And if you feel like you shouldn't consider me because I ain't there yet, that also excludes you from the process, mama. Period.
No doubt. P, what you got to add on to what Josie just put down?
I agree with Josie wholeheartedly. I'm gonna just go a different route with it and go specifically with her as an individual because she answered the question in a way that comes from her perspective and her life and her experiences. Now, what I found out about her is she once dated a gentleman who has 3 kids. Now, with her status, my opinion is the only way she would date someone who already has 3 kids, she has no kids, is if he was well off.
Right.
Now,
so she had the reversed. Now she's playing devil's advocate saying, I wouldn't do that. Exactly. So he did when you didn't have shit. Why is it different now when it's on you? To my point.
There was a situation during COVID where you were quarantined. Now, this gentleman decided, I'm going to make sure I quarantine with my kids. I have to make sure my kids are good.
Period.
And this is the reason that they're not together, because he chose his kids over her. Now, this is the type of person that we're dealing with. So Eboni K Williams, even though she's in the spotlight, she's in the media, she has her opinion.
She also has her own problem.
Her own, you know what I'm saying? She's a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? She's just not a good woman. And for her to be out there representing women, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's tough.
That's a common opinion.
Black women, especially.
Black women at that. And this gentleman, and then she gets into a situation where she talks about black men, and the gentleman that she was dating with the kids was white. So she's not even advocating for black. She's not even looking for black men.
I think, again, this is also shows the trauma. So originally she dated a black man. She was traumatized by the outcome. Now she dating white men and she find that successful. Now she dating white men and she traumatized by the outcome. So she won't date a man who is less than her status, who doesn't provide for her, blah, blah, blah. And I think that, again, COVID killed a lot of relationships. It was a lot of motherfuckers that was putting a representative forward, and when they was faced with quarantining with a motherfucker, you find out who they really is. Yeah, you got to go. So it's a whole bunch of that took place. I get it. And when you find out that you're going to put yourself in front of my kids or my mama, unfortunately, again, you X yourself out because that ain't even a decision for most men. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Like, I can't make that choice. You just made it for both of us.
How you feel about the situation, Fro? What do you think?
Upon watching the interview with Ayana, and when she threw it back at Ebony and asked her would she date a bus driver, I saw it all in her face when
Right.
she asked the question. And then when she asked the question about would you date, and then her face turned to shit. And then she
Right.
said if he owned the bus. So
Right.
But
it's
that
like,
don't even that truly shows she don't even understand how this shit work. If he owned the company, he wouldn't be driving the bus. What is that? Mama, what is that?
it's like this. To me, it's like her, if you were to meet her somewhere at a meet and greet or wherever, the next after hello, my name is Les, the next question from her is, what do you do for a living? And
Right.
you know what I mean? It seemed like that's the next thing that's
Where her
going to
focus is.
come out of her mouth, other than really trying to see who I am. I could be a billionaire, but I could be the worst billionaire on the planet. But you know,
Right.
I could have
you gonna
terrible
look
money management and not have access to my paper.
no, I could be an abuser, period.
Right.
You know what I'm,
Right.
you know
Just
what I'm
not a
saying?
good
You're gonna
person.
look past that. You're gonna
Easy.
look past that because of my money or whatever.
Exactly.
It just, to me, it left a sour taste in my mouth for her to say that, because it's a lot of brothers out here who don't have the means or don't have the education, but don't mean that they ain't out here putting it down for their kids or their family. You know,
Right.
Period.
what about the
Exactly.
single man that is who's taking their kid and raised their kid to be a productive citizen in the world? You're going to disregard a person because of their salary. And then she tries to come back and say, she never said that. You didn't have to say it because you were speaking so loud. We
Your
heard
face said it. Your body language
what
said
you
it.
said. So it's disappointing to see a black woman get up there and just downgrade brothers like that. And in some instances, the brothers need to be held to accountability for the
A
bullshit that
higher
they do.
standard.
You
But
know
that's
what I'm
few and
saying?
far between. They keep trying to make it seem like that's the average, and it's not. It's a whole bunch of men of a certain age that's not only responsible, taking care of their kids, valid members of society, and they build it. So
Right.
yeah, we're not gonna take that avatar that is only disgruntled, angry, aggressive, know nothings who ain't doing shit. No.
Exactly.
And then the bottom line is, don't pigeonhole all of us for the ones that fucked you over or did you wrong. That ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm an
No.
individual. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna get to
And we
know me before you
right.
get to asking me, can I see your W-2s? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Especially when you have a platform so huge. You know what I'm saying? You have to watch what you say. You know what I'm
But
saying?
even
You don't.
that's just a paycheck. If you're not building with that platform, if you're not using it to make something so that you can be okay when they decide to let you go or stop fucking with you, then you putting yourself in the pigeonhole to be taking a fall in the future and not have nobody to stand by or support you through it. And I think that again, the killer part for me is that the interpretation is that, and this was the conversation that was going on surrounding this. The interpretation was that a bus driver or somebody that is a tradesman or somebody that has a specialized skill is not an earner. And for all intents and purposes, we come from a manufacturing town in
Yes.
Buffalo where the admirable job in our community was working at the plant. That was the guy whose kids had it all, who had the nice cars, who could afford to send his kids to college, who had all of the nuances and all of the new stuff that we didn't. So don't tell me that's the guy that you looking down your nose at. Please stop it. No,
No doubt.
She
not buying
she
it.
had she had a lot of backtracking to do. She was backpedaling faster than Dion after
Right,
all of that after
right.
all of that came out, man. And I want to say, for men of a certain age, we love our sisters, man.
Doubt.
We ain't
Love
here
you all.
bashing. We ain't here bashing women, and definitely not bashing black women. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
But if it's
day, when
wrong,
we
we're
see
gonna
some
speak on it.
exactly at the end of the day, when we see some bullshit, we gonna definitely speak on it. And Ebony K Williams,
Fuck out of here.
you know what I mean? So
Right.
what
She
we're
don't
gonna do
represent
now?
all black women. That's right.
She do not. And thank you, Anyanla, for speaking on that and bringing
Exactly.
that out. That
Thank
there is a great bit of value to taking on someone that is less than, who has ambition and trying to get there and build together, as opposed to meeting a woman who has nothing and her expecting for you to lay it all out and build her life for her. We got a whole generation who expects for and it has an entitlement to being provided with all of the comfort creatures of somebody who worked for it. And yeah, hit that button again, Les.
Fuck out of here.
And before we get out of here, is this, man, on this topic. The whole thing is love. We need to love one another. So with that being
That's
said,
right.
we're going to go ahead and go to the next one. And the next one was another hot topic within the culture. And that was the Timberland AI thing. Tim made a beat, and with the assistance of AI, he was able to have Biggie get down over his beat. So what we're gonna do is, man, is I'm gonna share the screen again, and we're gonna listen to the Tim and Biggie track, and then we're gonna come back and react to it. All right.
In the meantime, I got to share something I've been working on because I always wanted to do this, and I never got a chance to until today. It came out right. Play.
Not up here, but I keep the trick up my sleeve. Worry about sitting, fuck around and get your big seed. Got her in my palm, she won't be my man, squeeze. Look up, cheese, it ain't on me, it's in me. Keep all my gold soldier on when I'm grinning. Putting carrots on my cane, that's my shimmy. Got it like a double trash, that's what I am mixing. Come in and give a gift, she said it's not giving. If you want to smoke, I'd rather keep a hot chimney.
Yeah, man. All jokes aside, that shit was knocking, yo. And then when the beat changed and it had the fluttering going, yo, it's here to stay, man.
Man,
As they say, you either adapt or you get left back.
or you
Adapt
die.
know
or
what I'm saying?
die.
And for me, man, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about it, but man, that joint knock. And for me, listening to him and seeing that facial expression, he was
So
what he was saying, man.
Well,
And
but sincere about wanting to work with him. Like that shit hurt that he can't. So this eases that pain. But also it creates an additional stream of revenue for his family. So all them people with the disrespectful shit trying to knock it or act like it's some shit they can hate on, I think they need to stop. Because again, Tiana, his daughter, his mama, Miss Wallace, his family and friends, and the people that he supported, they don't care nothing about your feelings. They need to be able to eat. That was a resource that they lost. And to be able to hear something from him as hungry fans, that's new. No
So
greater
Josie,
gift.
so what if I go here with you now? Because he just opened up the floodgate.
lay it on him then, P. Lay it on him then.
What if I go here with you? I'm about to make a Big L album.
Big L, Pun, and a whole bunch of other folks on a compilation album that ain't here no more. That shit would have sales that would skyrocket everywhere. Streams everywhere will be crazy.
But what if I'm not genuinely
Trying to look out for the fans?
Or I don't love hip hop. I'm just doing it
For money? I don't even care. I'm that hungry for stuff from those artists. I don't even care.
So you don't see any disrespect at all bringing that back?
Get bread. Nope. Not at all.
What you say, bro?
All from them. Again, if they running around doing concerts, charging folks for holograms of Tupac, everything is on the table. Nothing is off limits. So please miss me with that. I can't get a track from Big L because he gone and it's disrespectful. I'm not trying to hear that. Please carry on and hit me with as many hot tracks as you can. Word. Especially from Pun and Big.
I'm torn a little bit because that gives you an opportunity to his legacy to continue to live on. Although it's not authentic, but we don't live in an authentic society any longer.
But you got to do it right, though. You know what I'm saying?
It got to be done right, but that's the same thing as Drake getting joints written for him. Just because somebody else is writing it and it's coming off in their voice, as long as the timing is right and we appreciate it and the beat is knocking, again, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Because they gone, we can assume it's okay as long as the estates of those fallen soldiers are okay with it, that we got to be okay with it. I don't think nobody else's opinion matter but them. If they cool, get bread.
Yeah.
So
it just got to be right, man.
Wouldn't you say it's got to be right? Elaborate on that, Lord. What you mean?
What I'm saying is, I feel like you have to be, not understand the economic aspect of it, but as a true lover of the art form,
You saying you can't put out no corny shit, but unless they the producer, they won't be. Again, the person putting it out ain't gonna be this on Timbaland case, yes. But if it's become a thing where it's an album and it actually get put out and it become a business thing, the person pushing the business ain't gonna be the same as Timbaland with the love for the artist. It's gonna be a whole bunch of Timbalands that have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to recreate actual songs using that. And it's only gonna be by people with love. Somebody who don't love it wouldn't go through that. It's too much work.
I agree with you, P. I said we live in a synthetic culture right now. Ain't nothing really real out here because you can manipulate and chop and slice everything out here nowadays. It's going to be hard for them to slow that down because it's out here now. And once it's out here, there ain't no putting it back in the bottle.
Right. And it ain't no stopping it and telling the AI no.
I'm a man of a certain age, so the authenticity is important to me. The love is important to me. I feel like there should be some type of committee with Chris One and, you know what I'm saying, to say, wait a minute.
Got to be a hip-hop board of directors.
They need a board of directors,
man. I love it.
To be like, nah, that's not real hip-hop.
I think folks like KRS-One and Big Daddy and folks that's true to hip-hop that had love for them fallen soldiers should be the ones to form that company and do
to make sure that it's right.
That is right.
So you don't misrepresent the dead. You know
if you look at what they just did to Drake, you can go to any of these AI companies and pay to get a fresh white label AI and train it by making it listen to albums of any of those artists and then make it recreate anything you want. Yeah. Anything.
It's here. You know what I mean?
So for me, man, it's touchy because again, I'm from the era, man. I'm from the school of it being from here before it was about $1.
Before it's about that.
So with that being said, that was Timbaland and AI. So the next thing we're gonna jump into, man, is Ice Spice and Jordan Poole. So let me put them up there. So you see Ice Spice and Jordan Poole. So the reason why they're up there is because Jordan Poole, on the first date with Ice Spice, he spent $500,000 on the first date. Now, Jordan Poole this past summer, after they won the championship, he got a over $100 million contract. Even with that being said,
it ain't tricking if you got it.
How do you feel about Jordan Poole spending $500,000 on the first date?
The thing about Ice Spice, she's from the Bronx. She's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? If he had went to the Bronx, let me finish. You go to the Bronx, you can get that for less than $500,000.
You can get that for $500.
You can go to West Side over here and get you an Ice Spice. The thing about Jordan Poole
is way colder than that.
He a beta. He wanted to, you know what I'm saying? He a beta male. Just because you got it.
That's all him flexing his muscle.
It out and spend $500,000. You could have spent $500,000 on building a boys club or something. Boys and girls club.
For all intents and purposes, that's just like the dope boy pulling up in the whip, giving the girl whatever she want, buying her whatever she wanted at the club. He just basically flexed his muscle and was like, bow down.
And now
mama bow down. Let's say that.
She's not gonna respect him as a man. She's gonna
beautiful
see him
lady.
As an ATM.
Bow down.
From here on out.
From here on out, $500,000 better.
Now there was a situation where Draymond Green punched him in the mouth. Remember that, Fro?
No doubt.
Yeah, so there's a possibility that he talks like a woman. He probably is a beta male. That's why Draymond stepped to him. He probably just a sucker. You know what I mean? And that's probably why Draymond stepped to him. But again, his skills got him to the position to get a contract to get that bread.
Right.
But
he got to do his thing.
I'm saying,
you
ain't got $500,000 on one date. Come on.
So for me,
it ain't tricking if you got it.
So for me, he played himself, and first and foremost, he got $100+ million contract. She know how much money you got, man. So why go out and just spend like that? Even if you do got it, she know you got over $100 million in the bank. It ain't no need for you to go out.
That's what
But
big
man,
boy.
so what I'm saying to you is this: he gonna find out whether she really fuck with him or not by not going out tricking, by spending some time with her and taking her on dates.
Exactly.
Why would you already got $100 million? Why I'm going to trick on you to show the next woman that I'm a trick?
That I'm ATM.
If he wanted to just smash, he should have said, "Yo, I'm gonna give you Lazy Splee to smash. Do you really like me, or do you just like my money?
Exactly.
And if you really like my money, I know where to put you at, and I know where to keep you at." Like I said, once again, he played himself with that.
And
man.
then recently, his game has been off. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe she watching. I don't know. Maybe his game off because he looking for her to see if he playing well or not. He's been way off. So he played himself in two different ways too.
Contract.
No doubt. He played himself, man.
Negotiating that contract, he fumbled a couple games. Yeah, look what it is when I ain't on, or when you can't have me. Look what it is when I ain't playing. See how y'all do? Y'all need me. Y'all better pay with that freight. But I'm gonna say this: when you a celebrity and your income is in the public eye, then every woman is just a transaction. He can't assume that any woman is looking at him just for him. And that's the problem. He always of that mindset where he got to have a wall up and be in a box because, yeah, this bitch trying to get me. So if you know that ahead of time, then, yeah, that's basically what he did. He paid for
So I know that ahead of time, so go spend $500,000?
Yeah, that was stupid.
If I got 100?
Don't matter.
At that pace, how long you gonna have? At that pace, how long you
sign
gonna
them
have
contracts? They go do stupid stuff. It ain't out of the norm.
Okay.
I don't agree with it.
If I got 200 million, I ain't spending $500,000 on no one date.
It depends on the date, not on Ice Spice, but name somebody you would.
Nobody.
And what we doing on the next date? We going 2.3 the next date? We going 2.3 the next?
Absolutely. And it's on you. Now I'm gonna do the one after that. It's gonna be 5. We going on vacation for a month somewhere. Let's go. See, we don't understand that kind of lifestyle. We ain't got it, so it's tricking us.
It's alpha to me.
It ain't tricking. It ain't tricking, and it's just not smart.
Not only is it not smart, but that was not only is it not smart, but that was the angel investment into at least 3 different Black businesses. That's so wasted on a date is outrageous with any woman. So I'm not saying that it's sane. I'm saying when you playing that high in the air, sometimes the altitude make things a little fuzzy.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. All I know is what goes up must come down.
Come down. That's right. It ain't gonna be 100 forever. I don't know what you thinking, but you better get it to work.
500,000 on the first date, and all I get is a kiss at the end of the night.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she making him work for it. If he spending 500,000 on me on the first date, what are you gonna spend on the next date?
But not only that, but she got bread, so she could wait on it. But I will say this: in my experience,
exactly, she got bread, so why would he
spend it?
That's why you got to top up, because she don't got that kind of bread. So you got to show her what it really look like. Okay, you middle class right now. You got a few mil, but come on up here with me. This is what it look like. We're going to shut everything
You ain't got to
down.
show her. She already know, Josie.
You shouldn't have to show her, but again, niggas at that price point feel like they do. So let's say this. For me, I have, in my experience, showered a few women with a couple $100 dates, $500 dates. And in those times, it was because I wanted the experience of whatever we was going to do. I hadn't done it. I felt like I wanted to go. You can't take just anybody. So if you meet somebody worthy of that, yeah, come on, let's go. But you going with me so I could experience this. Not necessarily I'm tricking on you or spending on you. So we don't know what the date was. We need to find out some details. What exactly did they do for the 500 grand?
Let's find out. Let's get some details. What did you do for your $500 date?
I took a helicopter ride. I had a car service, and we went on the 360-degree restaurant joint in TO.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. And I got more than a kiss. I say that.
I'm glad your wisdom is still there with you to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
500, huh? That was I feel you. Do what you do, black man. You know what I mean?
It happens. When you find the one, you got that. If he feel like he found the one, he gonna set it out.
Yeah,
500,
500,000.
500,000.
Nah.
Only again cross the $100 million threshold. Before that, you tripping. But yeah, I just signed a $100 million deal. I gotta go blow up some steam. Hey, I ain't mad at him. It's
Jordan
the worst way he
Poole.
could have spent it.
Jordan Poole spending $500,000 on one date.
Fuck out of here.
Right. So that was the 3. Now the last one, P. Josie gonna have to sit out of this one because he is not a good sport. So is not athletically inclined at all.
Let's
So
explain it to him, though, fam. Let's explain it to him.
He's gonna sit
I
out this
understand contracts, though. We talk about contract law. We can get it. Let's go.
We ain't talking about contract law. So what we talking about, y'all, is the playoffs. And with the playoffs going on, man, the playoffs have been exciting for Knicks fans. They back in the second round doing their thing. Hopefully tomorrow night we can get a W and tie this thing up, going back to the Mecca. But in between Miami and the Knicks, earlier in the playoffs, we had the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Los Angeles LeBrons. No, I joke. The Los Angeles Lakers. And everybody knows, or anybody that's an NBA fan knows about Dylan Brooks and what has happened after the season was ended. Now, Dylan Brooks is a free agent, but P, go ahead and run it down. What happened?
So listen, Josie, Dylan Brooks is a free agent. He's a player on the Memphis Grizzlies. He's an NBA player, so he's good, but he's not as good as LeBron. Now, LeBron is older, obviously. So Dylan was poking the bear, as if I'm not scared of no 40-year-old man. I don't care who he is. So what that did is it set LeBron off, and he went nuts. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies were a higher seed in the playoffs than the Lakers. The Lakers took them out the playoffs. And now everyone's blaming.
I'm coming for you now.
Dylan Brooks for poking the bear.
Why you do that? The man was gonna chill this season. Now you gonna act like you that dude. So he coming. He gotta knock us out to get to you.
So now, is it Dylan Brooks' fault that the Lakers beat the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies obviously was a higher seed in the playoffs?
No.
Or is it the team, the Memphis Grizzlies, didn't beat the Lakers? Or was it all because of Dylan Brooks poking the bear, the king? That's where we're at.
I think especially with fucking basketball, it's all mental. So if LeBron got the team clicking all on the same mental cycle, and at the same time the Grizzlies started to get comfortable feeling like we a higher seed, we gonna kill them, this ain't a higher game, then they would have caught an unexpected loss, which is sound like exactly what happened.
So, Fro, do you think that the Lakers came together because of Dylan Brooks poking Brown? You know what I'm saying? Now, are they more cohesive as a squad now because they wait a minute. This is our guy right here. We know 40 or whatever, about to be close to 40, but this is the king. We're gonna rally with him, and we're gonna take y'all out. What you think, Fro?
So for me, Dylan Brooks, again, he played himself. You know what I'm saying? He started off with this whole character of being a tough guy. He's supposed to be known.
But, you know, I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
He come in as a character, some tough guy. And one time he came in with the championship belt, like dressed like Steve Austin.
This is the one right here.
At some point, it just clicked in his head that he was going to be a character and profit from that. I'm going to be known as this tough guy, defensive guy. And he played himself because his play didn't back up what he was saying. Now, as far as he said that I poke bears, again, he being a wrestler, the alter ego type dude, when the media is in front of his face, he's the tough guy. Yeah, I poke bears, so I'm
Right.
that type of dude. He put the bullseye on his back and he went out there and played like a scrub. I don't believe him talking, galvanized the Lakers, anything like that. LeBron was going to do what they was going to do, whether he said boo or said nothing. We talking about LeBron James, one of the greatest to ever do, you know what I mean? So we know he's got a standard to hold. So he was going to go out there and play at that standard anyway. Right. Now, as far as him and the Grizzlies doing him the way they did him by saying that he's not welcome anymore with the team and all of that was uncalled for and unprofessional. They didn't have to say anything. Not signing back. So that showed a lack of class on the Grizzlies by putting that statement out that he's not welcome and this and that and the third. Because the man played for them for 5 to 6 years and he played hard as hell for them within that time frame. Now, did he get caught up? Yeah, he got caught up. And hopefully he'll learn from it. The next spot he go to, he'll just go out there and play defense.
And not shut his mouth.
And not try to be some alter ego superhero before the game. Dogs. You played yourself.
Dylan Brooks,
fake Dennis Rodman.
Brooks, in the words of Big Daddy Kane, from us to you, men of a certain age, put a quarter in your ass.
Because you played yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
I was about to say, I think that it's crazy because, like, I don't think it's a direct correlation. Like they came and said, okay, we're going to ride for LeBron. But I do think after he went nuts and had read that shit, that he certainly went into the locker room like, yo, we finna eat their lunch. I want so-and-so. We going to do them dirty, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they ride with him when he say stuff like, that's the leader of the team.
It's a little fuel to the fire. That's all. They was going to play anyway, but it's a little fuel to the fire. You know?
Man. But like he said, them saying he ain't welcome no more show you exactly how powerful LeBron is.
So yeah, man, this is episode 14 of
Damn, give it to them. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on, hey, give it to them.
Yeah, so today we gave it to Eboni K Williams. We gave it to Timbalnad and the AI. We gave it to Ice Spice and Jordan Poole. And we gave it to Dylan Brooks in the NBA playoffs. So this is episode 14. Thanks for watching Men of a Certain Age. And again, we're going to sign off. As long as the love and trust is there, we're going to grow.
We're going to grow.
DJ Shay forever, y'all. Rest in peace.
Lie low.